Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Khushi. Today, I want to talk about purpose of life. Let us start with some questions. Please read, everyone.
You have to target one person so that at least she will respond. Otherwise, nobody will respond. She should be smart enough.
Yashita Di.
Yes. You should have one loyalist, one good friends who can actually save your face. Yeah, go ahead.
In the question is, would you be satisfied with yourself then without any regrets?
Not really, not with right now in present.
Yeah, we all are like this. In the end, we only regret chances we didn't take. Do something today that our future self thank you for. Yeah, let's introspect. Introspect means examine our own thoughts or feelings. Yes, how much of time we spending that is how much of our time after our college hours we spend. I think 6 hours is our college time, right? 4 to 6. Yashita Di, please.
Yes, true.
Khushi, शाश्वत सत्य है. So why are you asking question? Yasita is
yes,
confused. What is the question in it?
Yes,
so,
sir.
Okay, go ahead.
So the 18 hours left, and everyone is also hello.
Go ahead.
Am I audible?
Present. Go ahead and present. Don't engage the audience. Audience बहुत ज़्यादा comfortable नहीं हो पा रही है. ठीक है? Present what you want to say.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So after in left 18 hours, we also sleep 8 hours approximately. So the 10 hours left. So how we can use this remaining 10 hours if we are talking about boys? You see how they spend their time in different apps or games or watching sports. How girls spend their times on Instagram mostly. After that, she want to buy something, and girls have a habit like just to buy something, always too aware with the fashion trend.
So buy something without spending anything, huh?
Yes, sir.
What is called window shopping, huh?
Yes, sir. The big question is it really worth it? Am I actually gaining anything except for that momentary happiness? अब कोई ये नहीं कहेगा कि हाँ मैंने वो मीम देख के हंसा था इंस्टाग्राम पे. Do I realistically do not have anything better to do? Well, the answer is ask yourself. Here are the ways that how we can productively utilize our time. That is, we use our time to we always use our time to improve ourselves as well. We do meditation. We always polish our existing skills. Watching movies to improve our vocabs. learning new skills, read a book. These all things can help us to increase our productivity. So the topic is the purpose of life. We are talking about all this, that how we spend our time all the days, and how boys spend their times, how girls spend their times, and how to increase our productivity. But here, here there is nothing mentioned about the purpose of life. If when I am researching about this topic, the purpose of life, I got the answer. Mhm. Yes. Is the purpose of life is it making presentation only, or college, or job and luxurious life, as we always think about it all this? Now the answer that I got, really there is no purpose of life. We are the one who assign purpose to life. मतलब लाइफ का, हमारे लाइफ का कोई पर्पस नहीं होता, ये हम होते हैं जो हम अपनी लाइफ को एक पर्पस असाइन कर देते हैं. लाइक
Wow.
कि
I think
हमें ऐसा खाना.
this is
Yes,
the
sir.
wonderful line. Yeah, most
Yes.
powerful line.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually we are assigning purpose to life, that हमें ऐसे रहना है, हमें ये खाना है, आज हमें इस तरह की लाइफ जीनी है. But actually there is no such purpose. It is meant to enjoy as it is. Having a life itself is a purpose. So if there is no purpose, so I would like to say that live it in the fullest, right and happy way, so that we positively impact as much people as we can and make our surroundings and the world a better place.
See, how is the biggest problem? Because everybody said that feel happy. Nobody is feeling happy. Everybody is saying to you that be confident, but you don't know how to become confident, because you have to understand the process. So nobody is
Yes.
telling you the process. In this also, you have to talk about the process. How you'll get the purpose or goal or whatever you were talking.
Sir, actually, we are the one who assign the purpose to the life. So,
I can give you the
sometimes-
order. I can give you the order. Go and dig a well. Now, question is that whether I am providing you spared or all the related material or the manpower, process, telling the process, how long, how deep, all these things will be there. Right? This is the biggest problem. Everybody says ki go and find the purpose of your life. Nobody is saying ki how you will find the purpose of life. What will be the process to even start with? Forget about to reach at the top.
Yes, sir.
Chalo. Next. No.
Always try to be a better version of yourself every single day. There is always room for improvement. If you want to,
Instagram पे रोज लिखा आता है सर.
if you,
कई लोग तो
yes, sir.
सुबह उठते ही 5 बजे भोर में गुलाब का फूल और बड़ा सा चप्पू भेज देते हैं. जीवन
Yes,
एक
sir.
यात्रा है, ऐसे खुशी के साथ जिए, और वो सबसे
Yes.
दुखी होंगे दूसरे को बता के कि मैं भी सुखी होना चाहता हूँ.
Yes, sir.
लाइफ फुल, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट.
Here are some quotes. Love the life you live the life you love. If you love life, don't waste time, for time is what life is made up of.
ठीक है, next. Yes, Khushi, next.
Thank you.
Chalo, thank you. What was the purpose of your presentation?
Sir, actually, I am trying to convey about the the topic is purpose of life. So,
That's why I'm asking, what was the purpose of your presentation? Forget about life.
yes, sir. Sir, the purpose of my presentation is to always not think or worry about our future.
Future. मैं presentation की बात कर रहा हूँ, आप ज्ञान की बात कर रही हैं. Anyway, just think about it. And who is the next who is going to present?
Sir.
Isha.
No, sir.
Anushka.
Anushka. Yes, sir.
तो आपके पास presentation है या should I open your presentation?
Sir, I will try first.
चलो ठीक है, आप try करें.
Audio.
आकांक्षा, खुशी, गुड़िया, अनुष्का, आपका है तो प्रेजेंटेशन.
ये होता ही नहीं है. वहाँ के बेकार है.
मिला आपका पर्पज?
No,
चलिए
sir.
मैं
Again,
प्रेजेंट
it's
कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है, चलो.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
चलिए एक सेकेंड रुको. चलो.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. So I will present on purpose of life, which is of course today's topic. So, sir.
जब भी कुछ बोलो तो जब किसी को कोई चीज प्रेजेंट करते हो तो एक एनर्जी लेके आओ. एनर्जी इन्फेक्शियस होता है, दूसरे भी एनर्जेटिक हो जाएंगे आपको सुन के.
Yes, sir.
हाँ, चलिए.
Yes, sir. Next slide, please.
एक सेकेंड. हाँ, ठीक है.
So, yes, sir. So every day is a new beginning. What we get through this, through these lines, that sometimes what happens that we drag our past into our into our present. Because of that, we don't live that present time fully. So the basic need of to live our present is to forget about what happened in the past. Like
Okay.
if we miss any opportunity yesterday, we should not carry it forward to our present.
ठीक है.
So sometimes what happens that we wake up and we feel low, like during Corona period, we all went through this situation that sometimes we were unable to find out the meaning that what we are doing exactly, because everything was shut down. We were all, closed in our homes. We were not getting exact purpose of what to do next. So due to which people were getting exhausted and they were giving up their life. So yes, next few people know that the fastest way to learn is yes. So what we should do is to introspect. We should ask ourselves daily that what is the purpose of waking up today. We should make a plan to make our day successful. That's introspection part that will help us to find purpose for start our day. A purposeless life will always manifest fear, worry, and poverty. If we will, not design our day, not exactly organize our day to from where to start, where to end, the day will go very vague and blank. We will spend our day like ये भी कर लेते हैं, वो भी कर लेते हैं, ये अगर नहीं हुआ तो बीच में छोड़ के दूसरा चीज कर लेते हैं. That will create a that will not create a successful day. Exactly. How finding your purpose can improve your quality of life. So number one is think about what makes you look for a life of purpose. Life for a you look for a life purpose. Second, having a purpose makes meaningful life. Of course, if we organize our day, it will make a successful day at the end. So yes, you will have a deeper understanding of yourself. If you will introspect yourself or think about what you are perfect in, it will create a deeper understanding, of course, which we lack. We sometimes don't know ourselves also. That will help to understand ourselves. You will challenge your limiting beliefs. Yes,
You have only
we
5
will-
minutes.
yes,
Please
sir.
keep your time by yourself.
Yes, sir.
So the purpose of your presentation is to finish before five minutes.
Yes, sir. Ways to find purpose of your life. Face your inner dialogue. What you want from your life. What you want from yourself. You have to face it. That if you want something from your life, you have to do it. You have to get an idea that what are you doing with your life. What you want in your life. That will make your life successful. Discover what you are most sir, discover what you are most passionate about. Like of course during corona period, covid period, we were all purposeless, and many of us found that okay, we are better in some fields. Like I find that I have the power to draw, which I was most scared of drawing during childhood. But in during COVID period, I found that okay, I can draw. Develop a crystal clear vision of your life you desire. Of course, we need a path to fulfill our desires. So we have to create a clear vision. And lastly, define your true priorities and eliminate false objectives. We have to decide that what our priorities are, and eliminate the false objectives. So yes, I think I will stop my presentation here. Thank you.
At least you tried very well, right?
Thank you, sir.
Presentation quality was good, but आपने उसके साथ न्याय नहीं किया. आपका जो टोन है वो और बेहतर हो सकता था. तो quality of the presentation was fantastic. उसके साथ आपका body language, tone ये सब भी मैच करता तो बहुत अच्छा होता. Who is the next presenter?
Thank you, sir. Sarisha. Sir.
ईशा. एक विंडो से एक ही टिकट मिलेगी. नेक्स्ट. चलिए नेक्स्ट कौन है? कौन और प्रेजेंट करना चाहता है?
So may I?
गुड़िया. ओके ठीक है. मतलब तुम्हारे लिए तुम्हारी दोस्त ने सेक्रीफाइस कर दिया गुड़िया. तुमने प्रेजेंट किया तो प्रिया को नहीं मिलेगा, थोड़ी देर बाद मिलेगा. गुड़िया एक सेकंड. एक सेकंड. आई एम जस्ट शेयरिंग इट विद यू गाइस. ठीक है, वेरी गुड. चलो जस्ट गिव मी 1 सेकंड. ठीक है, चलो.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Today's topic is purpose of life. Sir, next slide.
Rather, next slide, you can give me a hint. So moving to the next slide. You should not say to me next slide, rather than you are saying ki, yeah. So now I am moving to the next slide. So I can get the hint from you. Go ahead. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. So moving on to the next slide, to find the real purpose of life, we have to first understand what does life mean, the true meaning of life. So basically, the purpose of life and the meaning of life are exactly the same, but there is a little bit difference on that. So moving on to the next slide, uh, that a life is basically between B and D, that is C, and it is choice. Life is a matter of choices, and if we choose the choices according to us, life will become purposeful itself. So moving on to the next slide, we can so if you want to understand the basic meaning of purpose of life, we can say that the purpose of life basically is something which motivates us to wake up in the morning, to go ahead in our life, to fulfill that goal, to fulfill that particular aim. In the next slide, we can see that if we define the basically purpose. So in my perspective, the basic meaning of purpose, you can say the thing or the aim that you love, that you are great at, you are talented, and the world or someone is paying you for it. So basically, it will fulfill the meaning of purpose and survival. Actually, the purpose of life starts from survival itself. A man has to, if someone will ask that, if someone will ask what is your first purpose in life, man will basically want to back up himself with first finding its survival possibilities. After getting the three most basic things, like we say that roti, kapda, makan, after that a person can think beyond that, beyond about society. Not being well in the position, the man itself, he can't think upper than that, because if you're hungry, then you will think about only foods. But if you are contained, then you will think about that who other is hungry other than yourself. Okay, so moving on to the next slide, uh, we can say that while we reflect the purpose of life, that if we want to search for the answer, the basic purpose of life, we will come across some question, that who am I, where do I belong, when do I feel fulfilled. When we find the answers for these questions slowly, then we get the basic purpose of life. So moving on to the next slide, we can see we can see that while researching the topic, I came to a term that is known as ikigai, and that is generally a Japanese term. Iki means life, and gai means the worth it. So, basic meaning of purpose of life is the life that is worth it, the life that is meaningful. So, I think the ikigai term was the contemporary to the term purpose of life. It it also means the reason you wake up for the morning. Like I have given example of an boxer that he want to put up the alarm, but he push himself to wake up and start running to fulfill his purpose, to compete in the competition, to win that competition, so he can fulfill his ikigai, his purpose of life. So moving on to the next slide. Uh, Here are some rules to achieve ikigai. That's simple. Some are like that: stay active and smile, be ready for any function, and have a gratitude, appreciation, have gratitude to everything you have now with yourself. Live in the moment, not worrying about future, but live in the present, fulfill the moment you are living in, and follow your passion, follow your ikigai. So moving on to the next slide, we can like finding the purpose of life is not that hard itself. If we try, we can find it. by thinking what I want to become, that what I want to contribute in the society, what I want to leave the mark in the society, what are my strengths. By combination of these things, we can only achieve the purpose of life. So moving on to the next slide. Once we find the purpose of life, the feeling itself is beyond like the feeling itself is magical. One will feel without any. If you achieve the purpose of life, the feeling is like we are not about like we have no pressure from society. We are free from all the wheels. Will not think about what is thinking the other one about myself. If my dream is to become a musician only, but people are like this will not be paid in present day, if society is pulling me back and I am determined to fulfill that purpose of my life, then I will not listen to what others are saying. I will just follow my path. So moving on to the next slide. So my purpose of life, if I honestly answer, then truly I didn't particularly find that purpose of life. And for me, it changes over time. Like Didi said in start, that purpose of life is what we give to it. So for now, my purpose of life is only to learn, think, and explore as much I can, because we have got only one life and we have to enjoy it. We have to learn as many things as I can. We have to we have to try every field so we can find one particular and follow our passion. So that's all from my side today. Thank you, everyone.
Good. I think it was a good presentation, right? And you tried very well. Okay. So, Akanksha, are you ready? आकांक्षा
यस सर
चलो आज आपको मौका दे रहा हूँ चलिए
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल गुड इवनिंग सर एंड गुड इवनिंग टू एवरीवन दिस इज मी आकांक्षा श्रीवास्तव एंड today's topic is what is the purpose of your life and लाइफ के पर्पस को जानने से पहले हम लाइफ के मीनिंग को जान लेते हैं मीनिंग ऑफ लाइफ फर्स्ट स्लाइड एंड लाइफ क्या है सर सेकंड
स्लाइड खाली है
तो उसमें था उसी में सर उसके बाद होगा शायद कुछ ब्लैंक हो गया सर लाइफ क्या है वंस अ वाइज मैन वाज आस्क्ड व्हाट द मीनिंग ऑफ लाइफ एक बार एक वाइज मैन ने बोला कि लाइफ की मीनिंग क्या है तो उसने रिप्लाई किया लाइफ इटसेल्फ हैज नो मीनिंग जिंदगी का कोई भी अर्थ नहीं है लाइफ इज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू क्रिएट मीनिंग लाइफ एक ऐसा अवसर है जो कि हमें अवसर देती है अपने जीवन के उद्देश्य को पूरा करने यस सर नेक्स्ट एंड अपने पर्पस को जानने से पहले हमको 3 क्वेश्चन करने चाहिए खुद से कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हाट्स इम्पोर्टेंट टू यू आपके लिए क्या इम्पोर्टेंस एंड व्हाई और सेकेंड क्वेश्चन है व्हाट्स आर यू गुड एट आप किस उद्देश्य को पूरा करने में खुद को कंफर्टेबल फील कर रहे हैं और आपसे कौन से जो पर्पस है आप उस उद्देश्य को पूरा कर सकते हैं थर्ड है हाउ कुड द वर्ल्ड बी इम्प्रूव हम कैसे इस दुनिया को इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं और कैसे अपने कामों से अपने ड्यूटीज के वगैरह से कैसे हम इस दुनिया में चेंजेस ला सकते हैं एंड थर्ड है वेज ऑन हाउ टू लिव ऑन पर्पस किस प्रकार से हम अपने उद्देश्य को पूरा करने के लिए कर सकते स्टैंड बाय योर वैल्यूज एंड बिलीव हमको अपने वैल्यूज को अपने बिलीव्स को उस पर ट्रस्ट करते हुए अपने आगे बढ़ना चाहिए सेट योर प्रायोरिटीज अपने प्रायोरिटीज है अपने लाइफ के जो पर्पस है जो फर्स्ट आपकी प्रायोरिटीज है उसको आपको सेट करना होगा थर्ड है फॉलो योर पैशन आपके पैशन कौन कौन से हैं आप उसको एक सिक्वेंसली कर सकते हैं जिसके आधार पर हम अपने पर्पस को वो प्राप्त कर सकते हैं हैव कंटेनमेंट इन लाइफ अपने लाइफ के जो कंटेनमेंट्स हैं उनको रखना चाहिए ट्राई टू मेक अ डिफरेंस किस तरह से हम अपने खुद को दूसरों लोगों से खुद को डिफरेंट बना सकते हैं उस हिसाब से हमको अपने पर्पस को सेट करना ये नहीं कि जितने सारे लोग सब मेन पर्पस सबके लोगों का होता है जॉब पाना, लेकिन उस जॉब को पाने के लिए हम कौन सी क्रिएटिविटी करते हैं और किस तरह से उस जॉब में कुछ डिफरेंसेस ला सकते हैं, उसके लिए हमको खुद को दूसरे से डिफरेंस करने के लिए उसमें क्रिएटिविटी आनी चाहिए। एंड लर्न टू लिव इन द प्रेजेंट मोमेंट, हमको अपने प्रेजेंट मोमेंट में ही रहना है, न कि पास्ट में। एंड लर्न इन लिव द प्रेजेंट मोमेंट, लर्न टू लिव इन द प्रेजेंट, और अपने प्रेजेंट मोमेंट से मतलब जो हम वर्तमान में कार्य कर रहे हैं उनसे हमको मतलब कंटिन्यूअस सीखते रहना चाहिए। लिव टू लर्न टू कीप मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, हमको हमेशा आगे की तरफ बढ़ना चाहिए कि मुझसे जो कि हमारे लाइफ में जो भी हमारे पास्ट में जो हुआ है उसको उसमें हमको नहीं रहना चाहिए, हमको कंटिन्यू फॉरवर्ड होना चाहिए। ऑलवेज टू बिलीव इन योरसेल्फ, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हमको खुद पे बिलीव करना चाहिए। एंड सराउंड योरसेल्फ पॉजिटिव पीपल, हमको अपने आस पास के लोगों पॉजिटिव पीपल के साथ ही रहना चाहिए, न कि निगेटिविटी के साथ रहना चाहिए। जो लोग पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग रहते हैं उनके साथ ही हमको रहना चाहिए। एंड ऑलवेज बी काइंड टू अदर्स, हमेशा दूसरों के साथ मतलब काइंडफुल रहना चाहिए, तभी हम अपने पर्पस को प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। एंड बिलीव इन लाइफ द एवरीथिंग हैज अ रीजन, किसी भी मतलब रीजन से अपने खुद पे मतलब बिलीव करना चाहिए। एंड चूज हैप्पीनेस, खुश रहते हुए अपने लाइफ के पर्पस को, जो भी हमारे लाइफ के पर्पस हैं उनको प्राप्त करना चाहिए। एंड लाइफ गोल के जो 12 हमारे जो सबके उद्देश्य होते हैं जिंदगी में, सबके उद्देश्य अपने पर्पस को प्राप्त करने के लिए उनके थोड़ा सा है मेक इट हैबिट, जो भी हम अपने पर्पस को प्राप्त करना चाहिए उसको कंटिन्यूअस करना चाहिए, उसको एक हैबिचुअल वे में लाना चाहिए। एंड डोंट फॉरगेट योर वाई, और उसको कभी भी नहीं भूलना चाहिए कि वो काम आज हम करें और कल उसे भूल गए, नहीं ऐसा नहीं करना है, बल्कि हमको उसे एक कंटिन्यूअस करते हुए कभी भी उसे भूलना नहीं है। एंड मॉनिटर योर प्रोग्रेस, हमको अपने उस कार्य को करते करते हमको डेली रूटीन पे करने से उसमें क्या होता है, रिफ्लेक्शन आता है, मतलब उस कार्य में हमको मतलब अधिक से अधिक हम उसको बेटर कर सकते हैं। गो पब्लिक, अब हमको कम्युनिकेशन भी करना है लोगों के साथ, ताकि हम अपने जीवन के उद्देश्य हैं उसको अच्छे ढंग से उसको प्राप्त कर सकें। राइट देम डाउन, उसको हमको नोट डाउन भी कर लेना चाहिए कहीं नोटबुक पे। एंड योर लाइफ गोल्स मस्ट बी रियलिस्टिक, तभी हम अपने लाइफ के गोल्स को रियलिस्टिक बना सकते हैं। एंड एक मिनट सर, गो डिजिटली, हमको मतलब डिजिटली होकर भी अपने लाइफ के गोल्स को प्राप्त कर सकते हैं सर। इसको एंड वेट सर, ब्लॉक टाइम ईच डे फॉर योर गोल्स, अपने गोल्स को प्राप्त करने के लिए हमारे जो भी मतलब उसके इम्पेडिमेंट्स आ रहे हैं उनको दूर करना चाहिए। रिवार्ड्स योर अकम्प्लिशमेंट, मतलब अपने अचीवमेंट, मतलब हमको जो भी मतलब डेली रूटीन में जो भी हम काम कर रहे हैं उस बेसिस पे उसमें अचीवमेंट हमको मिलती है। ब्रेक डाउन योर गोल्स, कभी भी अपने लाइफ में अपने प्राप्त करने के लिए उसको रोकना नहीं चाहिए, उसको कंटिन्यूअसली हमको करना चाहिए। क्रिएट मेंटल पिक्चर्स आर विजुअलाइज, मतलब उस पर्पस को प्राप्त करने के लिए हमको विजुअलाइजेशन करना चाहिए। एंड सेट गोल्स विद स्मार्ट, अपने जो गोल्स है उसको स्मार्ट वे में सेट करना चाहिए। थैंक यू थैंक यू।
वेरी गुड प्रेजेंटेशन, ज्ञान देने में कितना अच्छा लगता है, नहीं?
Excuse me, sir.
हाँ यशिता, I will give you. Yeah, कौन?
Sir, Mansi. Sir, can I come in 5 minutes?
हाँ प्लीज जाइए। Yeah, यशिता, I am just giving your just एक सेकेंड मुझे देना बस। Just give me 1 second. यशिता, आपने भेजा हुआ है ना यशिता?
Yes.
हाँ भेजा हुआ है, डोंट वरी। एक सेकंड, मैं अभी ओपन कर रहा हूँ, 2 मिनट दे दो बस मुझे। Yashita. Okay. Yes, Yashita. ठीक है. Yes. एक second. Sir. Yashita. Yes. तुम्हारा कलर कॉम्बिनेशन बहुत अच्छा है यशिता.
Thank you.
हाँ. I will give you one of my presentation so that आप उस पे काम करो and क्या पता कुछ हेल्प कर दो मेरी.
Sure, sir.
चलो.
Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to
Excellent.
talk about the topic purpose of life. So, starting with its basic meaning, it means the aim or intention of life. It applies to everyone equally. So, moving on to the next slide. The first and most important point is that it's subjective. Everyone has a different purpose of life. It isn't necessarily grand for everyone, but it can be grand for some. Someone might want to become a doctor despite coming from a financially less background, especially if we apply it to highly capitalistic countries like US, where student debts are in high level. Or it can be as small as being happy in daily life for people who go through mental disorders in their daily life. Next slide. So, moving on to the next slide. I would like to give example of subjectivity through certain people. Firstly, for a kid. As a kid, everyone of us, I'm sure, was obsessed about Shaktiman. It was our childhood, serial. It was about saving the world. So this concept was very entrancing for all of us as a child. And also, we all must have looked up to our dads because they definitely kind of played a role like a superhero for us, getting everything we wanted and, taking us out for a walks and stuff like that. So from a kid's perspective, the purpose of life could be become saving the world, because those things inspire us and affect us in such a way. So moving on to the next slide. For a terminally ill person, as a terminally ill person, they don't have the advantage or the gift of having an endless life or a future that they can't see an end for. They don't know when they are going to die, or if this illness is going to ever go away. So for them, the purpose of life is to experience the life fully, and it's much more urgent than any one of us. For us, even if it was to experience life, it must be like, okay, we'll do it one step at a time, but if we try to see from a point of view of a terminally ill person, there is a sense of urgency in it, so it gives a beauty to their purpose of life. Next slide. A lost person. Now, we all discussed about the purpose, but there are majority of us who do not have any purpose, and I think it's very important to highlight that not having a purpose is very much common, and it's not something bad, because as we all discussed, that purpose is something that we give to our life. So it isn't necessary that everyone has those conditions, that give them the purpose to wake up every day. And not everyone is that sorted in their identity or what they want to have a purpose, a solid purpose. So I think thinking about them is also especially important, and I have a special and interest into it that made me choose psychology also. So moving on to the next slide. An orthodox religious person. So as we people, I'm sure we have aims like we want to become a kind person, we want to achieve a certain aim of related to an occupation. But if we try to also give an example of a orthodox religious person, for them religion and its ideology becomes such an important center of their life that it becomes their purpose. You have to abide and follow all the rules of their creator, since there are many religions, and they have different concepts of different creators and different rules accordingly, which is sometimes ironical, because which one is true. But these orthodox religious people, sometimes not sometimes, their whole purpose is following the rules. So this is also one of the subjectivity applied to the purpose of life. Moving on to the next slide. Yeah, so I would like to discuss my purpose. So there are many, as you can see, there are also many points. So I don't have a specific purpose, but I have many. First one, and the most crucial one for me, is to be the truest version of myself. So as we live in the society, there are many things that can tempt us. Money is the biggest tempter of all. It could have diverted me from taking the profession or the line that I have chosen right now, but it would have made me into a person that I'm not, and that's what I'm the most scared of. I will take a less traveled path if that means that I'll be able to see a better version or truer version of myself. Of course, I'm not saying that I will be able to see the whole true person that I am, but a bit closer to that. Second is helping people. Of course, that's a second of the biggest purpose. That's why I've also chosen this profession. But not necessarily. I can also do small things in daily life. It makes me feel happy. It makes me, it kind of is the purpose of my life. Even if I don't become a psychologist, I would like to work in old age homes, especially, and that's also one of my interests. Not succumbing to my ego. It is the purpose of my life, and also one of my biggest fear, because egoistical
even you can work with your Young Skill India in emotional care division. That's an
yes.
offer for you. Yeah.
An egoistical person, when that person talks, I feel embarrassed. And I'm scared that I will be that person one day in my life, because they are so far removed from reality. And they're so far removed from the true version of soul and humanity. Being kind, of course, and then understanding complexities of life. So moving on to the next slide. So all of this, the purpose of life that I discussed, how do we achieve it? I would simply like to explain it through one example of kintsugi. It is an art style, a Japanese art style, of course. When it comes to philosophy, Japan has to come on top. So it's an art of broken pottery. So a pottery, when it gets broken into pieces, it's patched back in, and they do not attempt to hide the damage. Rather, they show it, and they patch it up with a golden work that even more highlights it than before. So if we try to use the analogy of this with our life, about how to reach our purpose of life will change throughout, from our birth to our death. So, and we'll make several mistakes in that. We'll go through several failures in that. Rather than trying to replace those broken pieces of pottery with a new pottery, if we try to introspect, as we all discussed, and we try to patch ourselves back in, but not through hiding our damages, but rather highlighting it and even making even better version of ourselves than before, then I think that will definitely help us achieve our purpose of life. Thank you, everyone. That would be all.
Excellent presentation, and today your tone was really fantastic than yesterday.
Thank you, sir.
Only thing is that while you are saying something, give a fraction of the second space, not for yourself, but for others, to differentiate. My mind may not be as sharp as yours. So I may mix what you are, because I may be thinking also somewhere. Because normally we are not in a conscious state. We are consciously unconscious. Understand? हम होश में नहीं रहते हैं, आपको ये पता होना चाहिए। आप जिससे बात कर रहे हो वो सामने वाला होश में नहीं है, ये बात आपको पता होनी चाहिए। He may have worries about family, future, job, वो होश में नहीं है, फिर भी आप उससे बात कर रहे हो। जैसे आप किसी हॉस्पिटल में जाओ और किसी ने मेडिसिन खाई हुई और आप उससे पूछो कि और खाना खा लिया, उसने हाँ खा लिया, क्या खाया पता नहीं क्या खाया, समथिंग लाइक दैट। ही इज अनकॉन्शियसली इज टॉकिंग, और आप जाके बाहर बोलो कि नहीं नहीं वो तो बहुत अच्छे से बात कर रहे थे, बट ही दोबारा आप जाके मॉर्निंग में पूछो कि कल मैं आई थी, बात कर रही थी आपसे, तो बोले कब आई थी, मुझे तो पता नहीं चला। तो अंडरस्टैंड कि कब आपको सेंस होना चाहिए कि हमें स्पेस दे करके थोड़ा स्पेस सामने वाले को भी दिमाग में जाना है, ठीक है। इस पे काम करना, ये एक एरिया है जो वीक है आपका अभी भी, ठीक है। चलो ग्रेट। हु इज द नेक्स्ट?
सर ईशा।
ईशा, मुझे पता था ईशा, इसीलिए मैं जो है कि आई वाज गोइंग टू गिव यू एन अपॉर्चुनिटी। ईशा एक सेकेंड मुझे दो।
अरे
ईशा, पर्पज ऑफ लाइफ, नो? चलो, कोमल वर्मा इज आल्सो देयर, व्हाट अ सरप्राइज। चलो, पर्पज ऑफ लाइफ बाय ईशा। ईशा 5 मिनट है, 9:53 हो रहा है, 58 पे खत्म कर लेना, ठीक है।
ओके सर।
नहीं तो ऑटोमेटिकली ये क्लोज हो जाएगा। चलो।
I am going to present my presentations purpose of life. So this picture shows our purpose of life will help others. Like our prime purpose in this life is to help others, and if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. So it's a bigger purpose of life. So what is life? Life is a journey. It's not a destination. So life is a journey between B and D. D is a birth and D is death. But C is between. What is C? C is a choice. You have a choice to suffer or not. You have a choice to get hurt or not. Take your own choice and life happily live. So it's a life meaning. So what's the purpose of life? So my purpose of life, I want to keep learning in my life. I want to keep growing in my life. I want to observe everything in my life. And I want to explore different dimension of life. So here, this picture shows stop thinking, start doing. So be a doer, not a thinker. When we start doing, we stop thinking, then from where we started doing. So what's the obstacle of life? This picture show obstacle of life. Like one picture show life without obstacles removes the opportunity for growth. But this picture show starts where you are, use what you have to what you can. What is the states of mind? We have 3 states of mind: reasonable mind, wise mind, and emotional mind. So what is reasonable mind? In reasonable mind, we have a past experience, research, choice, logic, statistics. In wise mind, I feel this art, I know this, and so I will do this. So it's our wise mind. And emotional mind. In emotional mind, we get an anxiety, fear, anger, feeling, sadness, and stress. I think purpose is equal to success. So what is success? Success is like an iceberg. What people see and what people don't see. It's up to us how we think to grow ourselves, how we think, observe to each and everything. So when we do a start a sacrifice, staying healthy, good habits, focus, disappointment, growth mindset, persistence, daily goals. So here I stop my presentations. You are rich when you are content and happy with what you have. Thank you.
प्रेजेंटेशन का मतलब केवल पढ़ना नहीं होता है।
Yes, sir.
तो जब आप पढ़ने लगते हो तो वो बोरिंग हो जाता है, तो पर्पज खत्म हो जाता है उसका। ओके प्रिया, आर यू रेडी?
Yes, sir.
चलो, आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग। एक सेकेंड, एक सेकेंड। यही है आपका?
Yes, sir.
चलो, ओके ग्रेट। सो यू आर ऑल्सो हैविंग 5 minutes प्रिया, ठीक है? 57 हो रहा है, 10.2 पे खत्म करना है। चलिए।
Good evening, everyone. So today's topic is purpose of life, and we have today's topic.
Bolder version, bold, free from any thought. Good evening, everybody. Sometimes I started searching one day something in the sky. After some times, I realized that I was not knowing what I am searching for. Creative.
Good evening, everyone. So, with previous presentations, we have already understood what is the meaning of purpose of life. So, I'll be very brief. The purpose of life is what makes you happy. Like as Khushi said, purpose is what we assign to ourselves, right? So, we have to assign something. And I'll be sharing some incidences in sequence, which helped me in understanding my purpose of life for now. So in the next slide, the person you are seeing, he is Kailash Satyarthi. He is a social worker. So when I was in 8th standard, I saw him in a KBC for the first time. And he shared a lot of his stories and experiences where he helped children from being exploited, like child exploitation in circus group. So he helped them to overcome that. The next is, yeah. So it was in 8th standard. Now in 12th standard, we in our English textbook, we had a chapter of Lost Spring of Anish Jang. So it contained two stories, two real life inspired stories. First one of Simapuri. It is a slum area near Delhi where people survive with rag picking. Like they go to garbage and they pick something and like their clothes and their shoes and something to eat, and their whole survival is because of that rag picking. And the second part of the story was the bangle making. So we see in that next slide. Yeah. So the second part was of story of a boy in Firozabad who was forced, like both of the stories was like consisting the factor of poverty. So the boy who was of like 11 or 12 years old, who was forced to make bangles. It was the only way of the survival of the family. And it was so harmful that they had to make bangles in a very, very high temperature in a dull light, which often make them blind in a very young age. So these incidences and stories, like they hit me that how lucky and how blessed I am, so that I have so many things in my life. And the fourth story, that is again in 12th standard, the poem of elementary school. The poem was about the elementary school, and where children who are inherit with their disease of the parents, and they could not study, they could not even walk properly because of the disease, and their shoulders would was like looks like the full of burdens. So after like studying all this, I understood that I am blessed to have so many things in my life, and I should be grateful instead of just complaining, right? And then Dharavi, we all know, like world's third slum area is in Maharashtra, Dharavi, and there are so many NGOs working for that. So because of all these incidences, I have understood the purpose of my life for now is to help people, like by joining NGO, especially working for the children. In economics, we have studied that 2400 of calorie a person need a day, and there are 16% of people who live in below poverty line. They do not even get that. 2400 of calorie. It's a big thing. Like we have more than 200 of calorie in the kurkure packet. So they are living in so much of poverty that they are not even getting the necessities of life. So for now, my basic purpose is to help people by at least providing them the basic thing, the shelter, the food, the clothes, the basic. And that was my presentation, and that was my purpose of life for now. And I'll be doing this in my life ahead.
Great, good. I think at least you tried to bring something which is very, very, close to your heart, and that become purpose of your life. Maybe you will try to make yourself more competent to achieve your purpose, right? Yeah, Mansi, you don't have any presentation, or you have presentation?
But I do have.
Oh, great. So you have not shared, so you can share it by your own, right?
Yes.
And it was very good presentation, Priya. Very neat and clean.
Thank you, sir.
So is my screen visible?
Yeah, very much visible. Keep your slides on full.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mansi Kumari, and today's topic is life purpose. So what is life purpose? According to Vedas, life purpose is to attain moksha or salvation. According to Aristotle, it is to achieve happiness. According to Plato, it is to achieve wisdom and understanding. Life purpose is something which gives us the answer of the questions like who am I and why am I? It gives us the meaning of life and the reason of existence.
Bring more conviction. Your content is fantastic.
Yes,
the
sir.
purpose of life is who am I? Who am I? Purpose of life is who am I? Purpose of life is who am I? Mesmerize the people.
Yes, sir.
Your content is powerful. Bring more conviction towards it.
Yes, sir.
To create miracle.
When World War II happened, the era was very chaotic. The world became chaotic. Europe, Germany, and even other parts of the world became very chaotic, and the people were hopeless, anxious, and their existence seemed futile, meaningless. So the people felt that they were active, but they didn't have any objective. Then it was then when the theater of absurd emerged. Theater of absurd refers to the dramatic works of certain European dramatists of 1950 who agreed to the Albert Camus's essay Myth of Sisyphus. So Albert Camus is we'll get to know about him in the next slide.
The Myth of Sisyphus, 1942, by Albert Camus. Albert Camus is an existentialist philosopher. He used a Greek mythological figure named Sisyphus. He was the king of Corinth. And he wrote in his essay, which is named The Myth of Sisyphus, that there was a mythological figure who was punished by God to roll up a huge stone up to the hill. But what happens is, as soon as he reaches the top of the hill, the stone falls down immediately. And he repeats the process. So with this situation, what Albert Camus did was, he tried to parallelly show the human existence, the man's futile quest to understand the absurdity of human existence. And he also wrote that one must find Sisyphus happy, because he was doing an ongoing process again and again. And we would feel that Sisyphus was unhappy because of that process that he did again and again. But we'll have to understand that Sisyphus was happy, and we can also find meaning in living without knowing why we exist, even without knowing the reason of our existence. There is a play which is named Waiting for Godot. It is written by Samuel Beckett, 1950. So the play revolves around nothingness. There is nothing done in it, no development is to be found, and there is no beginning and no end. It also has the theme of existentialism, which is actually the man's quest to search for meaning of life purpose. That is what existentialism is. There are two tramps who wait for Godot twice, and he never comes. So what happens is, these two characters are the main characters in the play. There is nothing in the setting. It's just it's a vague setting. There is nothing. There's just a willow tree, and they two wait for Godot to come, and we don't. Not even we, or not even the characters, know who Godot is, but they keep on waiting. So these two tramps wait for Godot twice, and he never comes. So two tramps, Vladimir and Estragon are their names. They represent the humanity's vain hope of salvation, and Godot represents, maybe Godot, the word Godot represents hope, or maybe it represents God, or better life purpose, or happiness, or the purpose of life which Vladimir and Estragon are waiting for. They wait for the hope for a better life, or happiness, or a purpose of life. Life must have meaning even in a meaningless situation. They represent this theme here. There is tragedy in waiting for Godot, in finding life purpose. So there are very tragedy and comic elements. Therefore, this waiting for Godot becomes a tragic comedy. Like, there are scenes where Vladimir and Estragon want to hang themselves. Hand will be hanged. They want to hang themselves, but they do not have rope. They want to suicide with using a belt, but their belt breaks. There is also a character named Lucky, who can only think he puts on his hat. It also happens that both of the characters want to leave the stage. They want to leave that setting, but they never leave. They even say that let's go, but they not even move a single step. So, and everything happens twice. And actually, there is nothing happening in the whole play. It is a play of nothingness. So it says that nothing happens twice. The conclusion is that people are running to find the life purpose, but actually there is no purpose of life. And even if there is no purpose of life, according to Albert Camus, we should remain happy even in a meaningless situation. They realize the futility of the exercises, which is waiting for Godot. They go on waiting for Godot throughout the play, and Godot, whoever Godot is, Godot never comes. there is an illusion of change. Change never takes place. There is no certainty of whether Godot is going to come or not. The whole play is static, and the play is nothing. While finding the purpose of life, we can see here in the picture there's a small conversation that takes place between Estragon and Vladimir. So Vladimir's name is Didi. So Estragon says, Didi. Vladimir says, yes. Estragon, I can't go on like this. That's what you think. If we are parted, that might be better for us. Vladimir says, we'll hang ourselves tomorrow unless Godot comes. And what if he comes? Vladimir replies, we'll be saved. So they are completely dependent on Godot. If Godot comes, they are going to be saved. If he doesn't, they're going to die. Which can mean that if some hope comes, or if there comes a life purpose, they are going to survive. Otherwise, they are going to die. So it's not important that we are going to have a life purpose. Always, then only we are going to survive. We can survive without a life purpose, and we can be happy without life purpose. That's what waiting for Godot is, and that's what Albert Camus suggests. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Excellent presentation by everybody, and I'm really happy that you guys have found your purpose of your life. Yeah, I don't know, but at least you tried, and everybody has tried very well. So, quick feedback for the day, that what exactly you have gained, Mansi. I know it's sometimes boring, and somebody may be frustrated ki here they are doing nothing, just go and make the presentation and job will be over. And we have so many other things to do here, like I have to study, I have to get marks, I have to go to the market. It's quite tiresome and time consuming. Lots of time I am wasting in my presentation skills. Already I know how to make presentation. So what is the purpose of this class? To make you perfect in the presentation, open your mind, or think beyond the limits, or make you visionary. I don't know. So what exactly you have gained out of this presentation, Mansi? I would like to understand that part.
Sir, I don't think anybody of us is here just because of the sake of certificate and adding it up in the resume. So we are here for ourselves, because parents were not who sent us here. So we wanted to achieve a personality which we could show in the public, or before before the panel and interview. So it is actually helping me a lot, because I was someone who was very introverted and I wasn't able to speak in front of people. But this helped me a lot, and now also in classrooms when presentations happen, I am someone who actually secures good marks in presentations.
Great,
yes,
congratulations.
The teachers are happy with my presentation.
That's really great. Okay, so yes, Akanksha, क्या मिला आज इस क्लास में आके और प्रेजेंटेशन देके आपको कैसा लगा? आपका माइक म्यूट है, आकांक्षा।
यस सर। तो मुझे तो उतना अच्छा फील नहीं होता है खुद के प्रेजेंटेशन, बाकी सारे लोग का देखते हैं तो उतना अच्छा लगता है, लेकिन जितना भी है उतना खुद में बेटर करने की कोशिश करते हैं।
तो आप गोडो हो या फिर दूसरा कौन कैरेक्टर बुलाते नहीं? Always try to bring positivity, even negativity में भी positivity है। जैसे मान लो कि आप ये बात कहना चाह रही थी कि मुझे खुद का प्रेजेंटेशन अच्छा नहीं लगा लेकिन दूसरे का अच्छा लगा, ठीक?
यस सर।
अब पॉजिटिव बात आप कहना चाह रहे हो लेकिन उसमें आपने निगेटिविटी जोड़ दिया। मतलब मान लो मैंने किसी को खाना देना है, उसको जो है कि लोकल जो है कि एक अखबार में लपेट के दे दिया और दूसरा एक अच्छे से पैक करके दिया, तो आप इसको कैसे कह सकते थे?
तो मेरा भी प्रेजेंटेशन अच्छा ही था।
नहीं, मान लो कि तुम बुराई कहना चाह रही हो अपने प्रेजेंटेशन को, मत कहो अच्छा, कैसे कहती इस बात को? मुझे बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला दूसरे के प्रेजेंटेशन से और बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे भी कि नेक्स्ट प्रेजेंटेशन में मैं वो सारी चीजें इंप्लीमेंट करूंगी। तुमने कहा कि मैं बुरा था, बुरी थी या मेरा अच्छा नहीं था, लेकिन अपने अपने दिल की बात कह दी कि मेरा प्रेजेंटेशन उतना अच्छा नहीं था।
यस सर।
तो इसमें कहीं एक वर्ड भी नेगेटिव आया क्या? तो ये भी एक आर्ट है, सीखना पड़ेगा लाइफ में अगर मतलब लंबी दूरी तय करनी। कभी भी जानबूझ के कंकड़ मत डालो पानी में। जब भी एक भी नेगेटिव वर्ड किसी के सामने बोलोगी, सब भस्मस हो रहे हैं, सबसे पहले आपके माथे पे ही हाथ रखेंगे। याद रखना, ये लाइफ बहुत क्रूकेड है, कोई अपना अपना नहीं है। किसी के सामने एक नेगेटिव वर्ड बोलोगे, सबसे पहले तुम्हारे बारे में नेगेटिव सोचेगा। ये ह्यूमन नेचर है, ह्यूमन ब्रेन इस तरह से बनाया गया है, तो उसको भरमाओ। ह्यूमन ब्रेन को अच्छी चीजें या अच्छे तरीके से बता के आप हैंडल कर सकते हो। ह्यूमन ब्रेन एक भरमाने वाली चीज है, याद रखना। जितना भरमा सकते हो ये भरम पड़ती चली जाएगी, और वैसे भी हम होश में नहीं रहते, इसलिए टेंशन मत लो। यस प्रिया, व्हाट वाज द लर्निंग फॉर द डे?
सर वी आर गेनिंग कॉन्फिडेंस आउट ऑफ इट, एंड अभी प्रेजेंटेशन के नाम से डर नहीं लगता। वी कैन प्रेजेंट इट इन कॉलेज व्हेनेवर रिक्वायर्ड।
ओके, अब प्रेजेंटेशन बनाने से भी डर नहीं लगेगा। कोई बोलेगा 1 घंटे बाद प्रेजेंटेशन है, बोले हाँ ठीक है। तो
यस
या गुड़िया, व्हाट वाज द एक्सपीरियंस?
Sir, after this presentation task, you're right. We have no fear. We have no fear of making like PPTs. Before that, if someone is like, we have to make PPT on that, we like headache for us and just like बहुत देर तक परेशान रहते थे कि PPT बनानी है. But now it's like snap on fingers, बनानी है 5 मिनट में बन जाएगी, something like that.
Wow.
So it's a benefit for the class.
You are giving a theme for Saridan people. Now I don't have more headache for making PPT. No, it's really good that you guys are confident. Always I used to say कि जब आप किसी चीज को जान लेते हो तो उसका डर खत्म हो जाता है। और याद होगा कि मैं जब पहली बार प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहा था तो मैंने कहा था ना कि एक समय आएगा कि जिन चीजों से आपको डर लगता है, अब वो खोजोगे कि ये डर क्यों नहीं लग रहा है मुझे डर इस बात से लग रहा है कि डर क्यों नहीं लगता है मुझे। तो अब आपको डर इस बात से लगेगा कि मुझे प्रेजेंटेशन है मेरा, मुझे कोई डर ही नहीं लग रहा है। So that is the power. Yeah. Yes, Isha and Anushka. Yeah, Isha, क्या मिला आज? लर्निंग क्या रही आपकी?
Sir, I'm trying to do more better and more confidence to make PPT.
Okay, good. Yes, Anushka.
Sir, Anushka is talking her father.
अच्छा, no problem. ठीक है. Yes, Yashita, what have you gained from today's presentation?
Sir, of course, I gained different perspectives of so many people, and I also learned that I need to there needs to be a gap between what I say so that people can understand it better. And of course, I also gained a lot of confidence on making PPT.
ठीक है, तो एक कुछ और पीपीटीज बना लो, लाइफ में काम आएंगे। थोड़ा सा मेहनत और कर लो। आई नो कि आप लोग बाउंड्री लाइन पे पहुंच चुके हो, एक दिन आप लोग रिवोल्ट कर दोगे कि नहीं सर अब पीपीटी नहीं, बट कोई बात नहीं, उस क्रांति का मैं इंतजार करूंगा। ठीक है, कल का पीपीटी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है। जानना चाहते हो टॉपिक या रहने दें?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
श्योर?
Yes, sir.
कल का टॉपिक है जॉब रोल। माई जॉब रोल आफ्टर 10 ईयर ऑफ माई लाइफ। आज से 10 साल बाद आप किस जॉब में क्या काम कर रहे होगे? सिंपल है टॉपिक, जॉब रोल ही तो लिखना है। कहाँ काम कर रहे होगे, क्या जॉब होगा आपके पास, क्या क्या रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज होंगी 10 साल के बाद, कितना बैंक बैलेंस होगा, कितना पैसा होगा, कितनी गाड़ियां होंगी। ठीक है, आज से 10 साल के बाद आप किस जॉब रोल में होंगे, किस शहर में होंगे, कुछ भी इमेजिनेशन, कुछ भी कहीं पे भी हो सकता है, बट एक प्लान, इमेजिनेशन, विजुअलाइजेशन, जो मर्जी आए वो बोल देना कि माई लाइफ आफ्टर 10 ईयर। मान लो कि 10 साल के बाद हम लोग वापस मिल रहे हैं, तो 10 साल के बाद आपसे पूछा जाएगा कि कहाँ थी 10 साल, 10 साल के बाद मिल रही हो, क्या हुआ लाइफ में, अब क्या कर रही हो, क्या करती हो, यही पूछते हैं लोग। कहाँ रहती हो, क्या काम करती हो, गाड़ी घोड़ा मकान है या नहीं है, फैमिली है या नहीं है, यही सब बातें होती हैं जनरली। क्योंकि हम उस समय मैच्योरिटी के स्टेज में पहुंच जाते हैं, इमोशन, एक्साइटमेंट ये सब खत्म हो जाते हैं, दुनिया को और ज्यादा समझने लगते हैं, फिर लगता है ये सब मोह माया है, दिखावा है, राइट। तो 10 साल के बाद मान लो कि कल फिर मिल रहे हो और बताना है कि आजकल कर क्या रहे हो 10 साल के बाद। ठीक है आकांक्षा,
यस सर।
समझ में आ गया ना प्रेजेंटेशन का टॉपिक?
हाँ सर।
Somebody can, a good content writer can write a small note for all other participants ताकि उनको भी समझ में आ जाए। I know it will be difficult for you to write a good content कि क्या लिखें कि उनको समझ में आ जाए, और मजेदार बात है कि वो कुछ और समझ लेंगे क्योंकि they have not heard the entire conversation till the time they are not watching the video. ठीक है
सर
हाँ बोलो, कल कहीं
सर
जाना
व्हाट
है?
इफ नहीं सर व्हाट इफ वी हैव टू like jobs in our mind for the future, then can we include both of them?
What I am saying, what you are understanding? You were saying ki let me imagine where I will be after 10 years. I am saying that tell me where you are after 10 years. Like आप 10 साल बिता चुके हो, आपकी लाइफ में जो भी घटनाएं होनी थी 10 साल तक हो चुकी हैं, अभी आप क्या कर रहे हो, किस जॉब रोल में हो, क्या क्या करते हो, क्या रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हैं आपकी। अब आपको अपना 10 साल का रियल पिक्चर दिखाना है। अच्छा दिखाओ, खराब दिखाओ, जो मर्जी दिखाओ, चॉइस आपकी है। IAS मत बनना, बस इतना ही रिक्वेस्ट। कई लोग IAS, गवर्नर और राष्ट्रपति से नीचे सोचते ही नहीं है। जो तुम बन सकती हो रियलिस्टिकली, लगता है कि 10 साल का प्रोसेस पहले देखो कि वहां तक बनने के लिए तुमने क्या क्या किया, ये भी बताना पड़ेगा। कैसे पहुंची वहां तक, हवा में बातें नहीं कि गए बस एग्जाम दिए, अगले दिन गवर्नर, फिर उसके बाद राष्ट्रपति, बस हो गया काम। जनरली यहाँ के लोग, जैसे एक मैं अभी किसी का इंटरव्यू देख रहा था, एक लड़का था, वो मुखर्जी नगर में सब IAS की तैयारी करते हैं थोक के भाव में, राइट, होलसेल मार्केट है IAS प्रिपरेशन का। तो एक लड़का था, ठीक से कम्युनिकेशन का भी मतलब पावर कहते हैं ना कि देख के समझ में आ जाता है बात करने का तरीका। तो किसी ने पूछा उससे कि अगर IAS नहीं बनोगे तो प्लान B क्या है, लाइक 1% पीपल 1% जॉब और 99% लोग, तो सबको तो नहीं मिलेगा, किसी 1% को ही मिलेगा। तो क्या कह रहा है कि नहीं नहीं सर, कोई प्लान भी नहीं है, बनेंगे तो IAS ही, आज नहीं बनेंगे 10 साल बाद बनेंगे, बनेंगे तो IAS। अभी क्या बोले आप उसको कि बात करने की भी जाए कि लहजा नहीं है, तमीज नहीं है, और आप IAS बनने की सोच रहे हो। पहले बेसिक्स तो बना लो यार। तो अंडरस्टैंड कि हमारी नीड क्या है, हमारी क्वालिटी क्या है, हमारी एबिलिटी क्या है, और हम वहां तक पहुंच कैसे रहे हैं। तो बी वेरी रियलिस्टिक जब आप एक्सप्लेनेशन करोगे और जहां पे पहुंच रहे हो, उस जॉब रोल के बारे में, क्या क्या जॉब है, एटलीस्ट एक बार जाके विजिट कर लेना naukri.com पे कि उस जॉब में जॉब करना क्या होता है। इतना तो कर ही सकते हो रिसर्च। टास्क बहुत छोटा है, कोशिश करोगे तो आराम से हो जाएगा, ठीक है। और करोगे तो शायद बहुत कुछ पालोगे। जो सोच रहे हो 10 साल बाद क्या पता वही बन जाओ, या वो बनो ना बनो, वो बनने का तरीका मिल जाए, वहां तक पहुंचने का रास्ता मिल जाए, ठीक है। तो एनीवे थैंक यू वेरी मच गाइज। नाउ यू कैन वॉच योर वीडियोस। आपको ऑलरेडी भेज दिया मैंने ग्रुप में, प्लीज डू वॉच। आप अपना परफॉर्मेंस, अपना बॉडी लैंग्वेज, अपना टोन, पिच देखो और अपने आप को देखो, बार बार देखो, तो देन चीजें समझ में आएंगी। अब उसकी वीडियो की क्लिपिंग कट करके अपने फैमिली को भी दो, सो दैट दे कैन ऑल्सो वॉच। अब तो बहुत अच्छा बोलते हो, अब तो वो आपके ऊपर प्राउड फील करेंगे, ठीक है। चलो, ऑल द बेस्ट।